Namaste to all. Welcome to the introductory session of yoga of Apollo ProHealth program. We have integrated the ancient science of yoga, which takes care of the mind and the body, into Apollo ProHealth program. Non-communicable diseases like diabetes, heart diseases, obesity need to be addressed in a holistic manner by healing the mind and the body and prevents risk and complication. Yoga is a valuable tool to increase physical activity, long-term well-being and decrease non-communicable diseases as per WHO. Ms. Josna Narayanan is here with us to explain about the science and benefits of yoga in a step-by-step manner in this introductory session. She is a student of Sri DKV Deshikachar for over 40 years, studying and teaching in the Krishnamacharya tradition of yoga.
What is yoga?
Yoga is a practice for the body and the mind to remain calm and healthy. For this, we use some postures, asanas, some breathing practices, pranayama, and some techniques to focus the mind.
Is yoga a religion?
Not at all. Yoga is neither a religion and it is not a religious practice. Yoga is an ancient knowledge that approaches the human mind and body in a very scientific way. But sometimes there is a confusion about the idea that yoga belongs to a particular religion, especially the Hindu philosophy or religion. We have to understand why this confusion. I think there may be one or two reasons for this confusion. Primarily because sometimes in giving a yoga practice, we use some chants to lengthen the breath, or we use some focus on some deities to bring some positive energy in the practitioner, to make the practitioner feel protected, to give them some courage. But these are only tools. And the most important thing to remember here is that even while we are using chants, we can use chants like Om, we can use Shalom, Amin, Amen, any kind of chant depending on the faith of that particular individual. Even our yoga texts tell us that when we use a particular image, it should be important that we focus on the faith of each individual who is practicing. So we may focus on Mother Mary for some people to bring about some healing. For another person, we may focus on Narayana, that may give them some strength and a sense of healing. But I would like to repeat here, these are all only tools to make the person feel better. This itself is not yoga. Yoga has its own strength of asana, pranayama, breathing, meditation practices, and is just as effective without any of these tools. The second reason for some amount of confusion can be the language itself. Most of our texts and our language of communication in yoga is in Sanskrit. Now Sanskrit is an ancient Indian language and therefore it must have been the language of those times. But the words have nothing religious in them. These are words that are talking about basic human values like cleanliness, speaking the truth, not being greedy. Right? These are common values. Contentment. These are universal human values. And this is what the texts are talking about. So it does not confine itself to any religion. It is a wonderful science.
Why should we do yoga?
We have a line that says, Heyam Dukkham Anagatam. A regular practice of yoga prevents pain and illness from affecting you. And today, scientific research tells us that a calm mind can actually prevent many illnesses from affecting the body. And even if the illness is already in the body, it enables better healing within the body. This is very important, especially in dealing with illnesses like high blood pressure, diabetes, even certain forms of cancer. By providing a certain quiet within the body and the mind, healing has a much greater chance. More importantly, in certain communicable diseases, yoga has a way of boosting your immunity and strengthening you from inside. So even if you look at it in the current COVID pandemic, a practice like yoga will be of great value to everyone to help us feel stronger, to have better immunity and a more positive attitude, which also now is scientifically being linked to better immune systems and better health.
How is yoga different from other forms of exercise?
The important difference is that yoga is for the mind. It is a unique system that connects the body and the breath, but towards working with the mind of the individual. The mind is the focus of this practice. Most other forms of exercise, as we call it, focus on the body. The body is the focus. Of course, even in those forms of exercise, we may use certain breathing practices and it may definitely involve some concentration of the mind. But the focus is on the body. In yoga itself, sometimes when we do only an asana practice, which is only postures, we begin to feel that that is yoga. Sometimes we do only meditation for the mind. We think it is for the mind and we think that is yoga. But yoga is not merely asana, not merely meditation. A good yoga practice is that which combines all these elements, the body, breathing and the mind together and with equal importance.
How often should we do yoga?
Regularly, every day is my answer to that question. We wash our clothes every day. We clean our car and wash it every day. The body and my mind and my vitalities are far more precious than my clothes and my car. So isn't it important that I find something to care for my mind, my body, my energies every day?
What is the best time of the day to do yoga?
There are 4 things we must remember when we choose a time to practice. The first is that the stomach must be empty. An empty stomach is very important for the breath to be free and the body also to be free. So choose a time when the stomach is empty, but under certain medical conditions like diabetes, a light snack or something to drink would be important. The second is that we find a time of the day when the mind is free. Yoga should not become another thing to do. It should not become another chore in the middle of all the rush. The mind should be free to be able to enjoy the practice and make it more meaningful. 3 is when the body and the mind should not be tired. We must find a time when the body and the mind are not tired, because a tired body will not respond to anything and a tired mind cannot focus on anything. So there should be no fatigue in the body and the mind. And 4, this is very important, that we set aside approximately the same time every day. The human body responds to regularity in a very positive way. So a regular time, whether it is morning or it is in the evening, a regular time of the day over a period of time is very important. So an empty stomach, a time when the mind is not rushed, a time when the body and the mind are not tired, and a time that we can have every day consistently. To me, this would be the best way to choose a time.
How do we know that our practice is right?
Simple. If you are feeling better, and if you're feeling better than when you started your practice, then your yoga practice is right for you. You're doing it the right way. But at this point, I'd like to say, it is important for us to know when we are not doing something that is right for us. There are 2 things we need to look for to know that this is not right for us. One is pain. If we experience pain at any point in our practice, during any posture or breathing practice, we must stop the practice at once. Pain is a signal that the body is giving us that whatever I am doing is not good for me. But we must learn to differentiate between pain and soreness. Sometimes when we exercise after a long time, the body is a little sore. We will get over it soon. But pain is different. It's a sharp indication. So when there is pain, we must stop the practice, go back to our yoga teacher or the doctor and understand the matter better. The second indication, which is very specific to a yoga practice, is breath. When the breath is agitated, shaky, or you experience undue breathlessness, or you are short of breath, then something about that practice is not good for you. Again, I would say, please stop the practice and go back to your teacher or the doctor before you resume again.
How can yoga help in illness?
We have seen many positive results in many health conditions. Like for example, people come with lower back pain, people come with neck problems, cervical spondylitis, stiffness, high blood pressure, hypertension, even some kinds of asthma, breathing disorders like asthma. We have seen a lot of very good results with a regular yoga practice. But certainly, like any other healing system, yoga is not magic. And therefore, if we were to be honest, we cannot guarantee that a condition will get better, and definitely we cannot guarantee that by doing yoga, some conditions will be cured. This would not be honest. But there is something else that is very beautiful about yoga, that even though sometimes the pain, we may not be able to even reduce some kinds of difficulties or pains, some kind of illnesses, we may not be able to physiologically, medically change the condition. By doing a regular yoga practice, very often the mind calms down. When the mind calms down, the anxiety towards that illness is reduced. The anxiety towards that pain is reduced. When the anxiety is reduced, the whole relationship with the problem changes. So sometimes though the pain does not go, you don't feel anxious about the pain. To me, that is the most important aspect of yoga as far as health is concerned. So sometimes though people are very unwell, even though they do a yoga practice, they tell you, no, I'm feeling very much better. I'm feeling fine. That is what we work towards. That the human being feels better, their relationship with the pain is different, they are not anxious about their illness. This is the space of healing, and this to me is truly where yoga comes in the relationship to health.
When must yoga be avoided?
This is an important question. We must know what to avoid under certain circumstances. We'll take an example. For example, when somebody has high blood pressure or certain other kinds of cardiovascular disorders, we would definitely avoid extreme forward bends. We would definitely avoid inverted postures like Shirsasana. Some kinds of pranayama are contraindicated in these conditions, especially some kinds of breathing practices like Kapalabhati have to be definitely avoided if there is a high blood pressure condition or some other cardiological conditions. Right? If you take for example a stiffness in the neck or something like a cervical spondylitis, again there are some things that could be avoided. Again, extreme forward bends, extreme back arches, definitely Shirsasana, Sarvangasana, inverted postures. All these are avoidable. But here is a big question. How do I know what to avoid? Because I cannot give you an exhaustive list. And it depends on the individual. So how do I know? My simple answer would be that it's very important that yoga practice must be learnt from a teacher, not from books or from videos. Simply because exactly for what we were saying. I must know what is good for me, but more importantly, I must know what to avoid. I should not cause myself more harm. For this, working with the teacher is the only answer. So the teacher then looks at the person in front of them and adapts and modifies postures to suit that particular individual. This is a very important aspect of yoga. It is called Vini Yoga. You give to each person what is good for them. There is no one size fits all. The other very important thing is, as teachers of yoga, we are taught to take certain considerations into account, like for example, the age of the person in front of me, what kind of work they do, where they live, what are the climatic conditions where they live, right? How much time can they allot for yoga in a day, right? What time of the day are they going to practice yoga? And above all, what are the health conditions of that person? I take all this into account before I design a yoga practice. This makes the practice valuable, meaningful, but above all, it makes it safe for the individual to practice.
Can everyone do yoga?
Everyone can do yoga. In fact, even those who are bedridden with physical disabilities, who are partially paralyzed, even they can do yoga, because very often we have seen that even the most simple breathing exercises and simple arm movements or basic movements bring about great differences and a state of well-being in people. So everyone can do yoga. Another very important area is that even those who are mentally challenged, we have worked a lot with special children, adults who are mentally challenged. Sometimes just giving them a good asana practice, giving them some simple good breathing along with movement, or we use sound to create good breath in them, it brings about a lot of strength, physical strength, and makes them more mentally alert as well.
Can pregnant women do yoga?
Certainly. In fact, pregnant women must do yoga. Yoga texts give a lot of importance to pregnancy and childbirth. In fact, there are specific practices, pranayama, asana, etc., that are given for each stage of pregnancy. And these are not only towards the delivery of the baby, but they work towards a holistic well-being of the mother and therefore of the child that is growing within her. But in this, it is important that we find a teacher who is well versed in this special aspect of yoga. It is important that the teacher we go to is knowledgeable of the aspects of yoga that deal with pregnancy and childbirth, because not every teacher may be familiar with this specialized area. So going to the right teacher, to the knowledgeable teacher, would be very important.
How does one find a good yoga teacher?
It is important to find a good yoga teacher. What makes it correct is that the teacher is good for me. There are many different styles of yoga, many different schools of yoga, and I personally believe that every one of them has something very valuable to offer. So how do I then decide which school should I go to, which teacher should I go to? I think it is a very personal choice. I must go to a school or a teacher of yoga where I feel comfortable. With the practice that they are giving me, I must feel comfortable, one. The second important thing is, I must feel a sense of trust. There must be faith in what they are giving me. This is a very personal space. One more element, but I would only place it after these two, is to look for a certain qualification of that teacher. Like in any other field of expertise, sound qualification. How long have they studied? How long have they been working in this area? Who have they studied with is important.
We will now look at a sample practice that could help relieve everyday stress that accumulates in the neck and the lower back and even otherwise in our daily life. Inhale through both nostrils. Pause. Completely close the right nostril. Partially close the left nostril and exhale through the left nostril, long and smooth. Inhale again with both nostrils completely. This time, close the left nostril completely. Partially close the right nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale again with both nostrils. This may be repeated a few times. We'll do some arm movements. Inhale, raise one arm as you inhale. Pause for a moment. As you exhale, lower the arm, simultaneously lowering the head and relaxing the neck. Pause. On the next inhale, slowly raise the other arm. As you raise your arm, raise your head. Finish the inhalation, pause. Then as you exhale, lower the head, lower the arm and replace the palms on the knees. Another set of arm movements. As you inhale, raise one arm to shoulder level. On an exhale, take the palm to the opposite shoulder, head to follow the palm. Pause for a moment. When you're ready to inhale, bring the arm back to the straight position. Exhale and lower it back to the knees. The head follows the palm at all times. Repeat it for the other side. As you inhale, raise the arm to the shoulder level. As you exhale, place the palm on the opposite shoulder, then head turns along with the palm. When you're ready to inhale, bring the arm back, the head and neck following the palm. And as you exhale, return the palms to the knees. Arm movements may be repeated twice or thrice. Inhale. Raise up on your toes, raise your arms above the head, lock the fingers. As you exhale, gradually come down onto your heels, bringing your arms back beside your torso. Inhale, raise your arms sideways, go up on your toes. Lock the fingers and turn the palm outwards. Pause for a moment. As you exhale, unlock the fingers and lower the arms to the sides of the torso. With one foot in front, as you inhale, arch the back, raise your arms up forward, bending the knee in front. When you exhale, return to the starting position, straightening the front knee and lowering the arms. Inhale. As you inhale, bend the front knee forward, raise the arms above the head and arch the back. As you exhale, slowly straighten the leg, lower the arms and return to starting position. We will repeat the same thing for the other leg. Inhale, raise your arms, bend the knee in front and arch the back completely. Pause for a moment. As you exhale, straighten the legs and lower the arms, returning them to the starting position. As you inhale, gradually bend the knee in front, raise the arms above the head, arch the back. Pause for a moment. When you're ready to exhale, lower the arms, straighten the knee, return to the starting position. Inhale, both the feet together. Inhale, raise your arms above the head. As you exhale, bend forward. If you need to, you may bend your knees. Palms come toward the floor. Pause for a moment. Inhale, raise your arms and come up straight. Exhale, lower the arms beside the body to the starting position. Inhale, raise the arms up above the head. Pause. As you exhale, bend forward. Bend your knees slightly if you need to. Palms to touch the floor. Pause for a moment. When you're ready, inhale, raise your arms, come back straight, exhale and lower your arms beside the torso. Inhale, raise your arms to shoulder level, and as you exhale, twist the upper body. Place one palm beside the opposite foot, bending the other palm behind you. Finish the exhale with a twist. Inhale, come out of the position. Exhale and drop your arms. Inhale, raise your arms to the shoulder level. As you exhale, twist, placing one palm beside the opposite foot, the other arm bent behind you. When you're ready to inhale, come out of the position, raise the body, come up, and on an exhale, drop your arms by your side. Inhale, raise your arms to shoulder level. As you exhale, bring one palm to the foot on the floor, other arm bent behind. Inhale, come out of the twist. Come back to the standing position. Exhale and drop your arms. Inhale, raise your arms to shoulder level. As you exhale, twist into the posture. When you're ready to inhale, come out of the posture. Come back to the standing position. Exhale, drop your arms by your side. We'll do a kneeling sequence. Inhale, raise your arms, go up on your knees. As you exhale, bend forward, bring your arms to the ground, rounding the back. When you inhale, arch the back, come up off the floor with your torso. Exhale, return to the previous position of rounding the back, head towards the floor. When you're ready to inhale, raise the arms, come up to the kneeling position. Exhale and return into the sequence. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, Return, rounding the back. Inhale, come up fully to the kneeling position. And exhale. Come back to the starting posture.
This was a brief introductory session about yoga which took through the most common questions asked. One can explore further on their own under the guidance of a teacher online and through a physical format through various platforms and organizations. The links for some of these reputed organizations are given as below.